There's something that immediately caught my attention when the reports linking Manchester United with Lewis Hall and Anthony Robinson started making the rounds. And honestly, I don't think enough people are talking about it. This isn't just a debate about who's the better player. These two names represent two completely different directions for Manchester United. And that's what concerns me, because if the club signs Lewis Hall, it's saying, we're building for the future. If it signs Anthony Robinson, the message is completely different. We need to compete right now. See how this decision is about so much more than signing a left back. Today, I want to have a real conversation about that. I'm not here to repeat stats you've already seen or read headlines that everyone knows. I want to look at what these transfer links actually tell us about where Manchester United is heading. And by the end of the video, I'll tell you exactly which player I'd sign if the decision were mine. Before we talk about the players themselves, let me ask you something. What do you think is Manchester United's biggest problem right now? Take a second and think about it. Some people will say it's the lack of a striker. Others will point to midfield. Some will blame the defense. But in my opinion, the biggest issue isn't any particular position. It's identity. For years, United have been building squads for different managers, different systems, and different visions. One coach starts a project, gets a few signings, then leaves. Another manager comes in wanting something completely different. The result? A squad full of talented players who don't always look like they were built to play together. That's why these transfer rumors are so interesting to me, because Lewis Hall and Anthony Robinson are both excellent players, but they represent two very different philosophies. Let's start with Lewis Hall. Whenever a young player gets linked with Manchester United, the first reaction is usually, here we go again, another prospect. But I think that's far too simplistic. Hall isn't exciting just because he's young. What stands out is the way he plays. Is not the kind of fullback who hugs the touchline all game and swings crosses into the box. He drifts inside. He helps control possession. He gets involved in the build-up. At times, he almost looks like an extra midfielder. That's exactly the kind of fullback modern football is moving towards. But here's the question I keep asking myself. Can Manchester United actually give a player like Lewis Hall the time he needs? Because the talent is obvious. There's no doubt about that. But Old Trafford isn't exactly known for its patience. When a young player struggles for a few weeks, the pressure builds incredibly fast. So the real question isn't whether Hall is talented enough. It's whether this is the right environment for him to become the player everyone believes he can be. Now let's look at Anthony Robinson. To me, he represents the complete opposite. I don't see Robinson as a gamble. I see him as a solution. Maybe he'll never be considered the best left back in world football, but every successful team needs players like him. Reliable, consistent, hard-working. You know exactly what you're getting every single week. He defends well. He attacks with purpose. He understands the pace and physicality of the Premier League. And after everything Manchester United have gone through with Luke Shaw's injuries, I honestly think that matters. Let me ask you something. How many seasons have we started believing Luke Shaw was finally going to stay fit? And how many ended with United improvising someone else at left back? At some point, availability becomes just as valuable as ability. Here's a thought. Imagine Manchester United announced Lewis Hall tomorrow. What would that tell you? To me, it says the club is investing in the future. It's willing to be patient. It's betting on long-term development. Now imagine they announce Anthony Robinson instead. That sends a completely different message. It says Manchester United are tired of waiting. It says they want players who can improve the team from day one. And honestly, after so many years of rebuilding, how much longer can this club keep asking its supporters to be patient? So here's where I stand. If I were making the decision today, I'd sign Anthony Robinson. Not because I believe he's more talented than Lewis Hall. In fact, Hall may well have the highest ceiling. But football is all about context. And Manchester United's current situation demands players who are ready to perform immediately. This club needs consistency. It needs reliability. It needs to close the gap to the top teams again. Robinson won't solve every problem, but he'll solve one important problem from the moment he walks through the door. And right now, I think that's exactly what Manchester United need. Now it's your turn. If Manchester United could only sign one of them, who would you choose? Lewis Hall or Anthony Robinson? More importantly, tell me why. I genuinely love to read your thoughts because some of the best football discussions happen right here in the comments. If you enjoyed this kind of analysis, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Throughout this transfer window, I want this channel to be about more than just breaking news. I want us to understand what these decisions actually mean for the future of Manchester United. Thanks for watching.